Home, brothers. This is Uncle Jeebers. I was just eating these fantastic, delicious cookies, and they are made in England. Okay, that's England. And then the cover is, see, I went to college, so I can read that. That's how you read that. Remember to read from right to left. But that's how you say that. And one good thing about this cookies is that they're halal.
Have you ever tasted English food? They eat pig's blood.
They do not eat pig's blood.
I'm telling you, they put pig's blood in the sausages and brains of sheep. Ugh. Place is completely barbaric.
The Queen is seated, and you will present the royal pudding as requested.
Excuse me, sir? But what is it?
That is a jelly, a pudding made from the liquor of fruit.
How do they get it so stiff?
Gelatin, a byproduct of cow bone.
Zalim.
And there's no dead pig in them. And you definitely have to watch out for dead pig and stuff, because I don't know if you know this, but they've got dead pig in grape juice to stabilize the color or something. They put pig's blood in there, and they don't list it on the ingredients list. And apparently they use dead pig to make certain kinds of breads, and they don't list that either. So I stick with the Arabic stuff. You give me the Arabic stuff. But I find this quite interesting that something produced in England would have that type of a title to it. Just like all their kids are named Muhammad now. And how am I so intelligent that I could read that? Well, I did go to college. I went to college for 1.5 years, and I gained about 2 years worth of credits. I got a perfect score, perfect whatever, 4.0 average. I took all these hard classes I thought would be fun and interesting, and then they told me, oh, Jeebers, you gotta go back and take 101 on all those. And I thought, no, that's gonna be bad. But I went to one of the classes, and it was like Miss Molly looking through her mirror frame, like I see Bobby, I see. So it's pretty pathetic. I got really angry in those classes because they were seriously like a class I would remember from the first grade. So I said, I'm not doing this. Even though I was dumb enough to go to college, I said I'm too smart for this. And I was in college, quote unquote, to learn. That was my goal. I wanted to learn stuff. And I began to understand that in college some people are trying to block me from learning, and they're blocking me from getting more work, and especially apprenticeships. So I want to talk about the university system a little bit, and why you should not go to university. If you already went to university, I recommend you regret it. That's all. Just regret it. Say, yeah, that was bad. Should have done that. Because I'm going to sum up university for you in one sentence. You ready? Pay for a job. Yep. I'll say it one more time. Pay for a job. So when you see the word college or university, you're looking at a synonym for pay for a job. Now, I have to go against that. I say, first of all, there is no place where knowledge is stored. I think that's the number one fallacy of the university, is that all knowledge, or a lot of knowledge, is stored there. And the way you learn things is within these gates, and outside, good luck. Another fallacy: if you don't go to university, you have no future. As if being $150,000 in debt doesn't ruin your future. I've had several friends who are deep into college debt well into their 30s, sometimes into their 40s. So, I was having a discussion with a 17-year-old student today, and he was saying, well, I have to learn English to get to college. And I said, well, why do you want to go to college? Well, you need to pay for a job, right? You have to go to college, pay the money, and then you can get a job. That seems to be the gist of the story there. Okay, so I've got an even deeper question. I asked him, how much is too much? So I asked him, how much are you going to pay, you think? And he said some funny figure. I can't remember. I don't remember numbers well, but anyway, it was pretty high. I said, well, do you want to, well, what if it would double that? You know, would you still want to go? See, this totally messes with the mind of the sheeple who are lining up to go to university. They're saying, does not compute. They just think they have to go. And they can't imagine a world where they can't go. And then they're going, and it's like, but wait a minute, if it's really expensive, and then they can't give me an answer. Like, how much would be too much money? I ask this question a lot to Chinese students, and I have never gotten an answer. I asked this question back in the States as well. I said to my fellow students there, I said, well, how much would this tuition have to go up? Because when I was going to high school, tuition was going up like, I don't know, 20-30% every year. It was like a big balloon. And I was just watching the balloon get bigger and bigger, and I was asking my friends, well, how big is that going to get? What's your limit? And none of them had an answer. They're just like, no, you have to go to college. You know, it's like, yeah, Brando's got electrolytes. You know, well, what's an electrolyte? Well, it's what you need to, I don't remember, you see. So, you have to stay out of that system. Also, I think it was put there to centralize knowledge or to centralize books so that they could be controlled. So it's no secret that in university everybody's a liberal, a leftist, a commie, and they're all, you know, they're all talking this funny stuff like socialism, and oh, it's cool to be a misandrist and all that. So I had a debate with a misandrist before too. You know, he said yesterday on Facebook, he's like, "You're a hater. You're a hater. You hate me. You hate me." Well, I do kind of hate anus worshippers. You know, if I meet somebody and they seem to really, really love buttholes, maybe I would think, I don't like that person. But it's true. If you eat poop, that doesn't make you a poop eater. That's not true. Take that back. And you get bombarded with all this stuff when you're in the college system. You get bombarded with it, and that's the official everything. And I remember we had like one conservative teacher, and he was like, he would say something like 2 sentences, and then he'd say, "You know what? You're not going to hear that outside this room. You're not going to hear that anywhere else." And he was right. He was right. He was the only guy on campus that he was like the token conservative guy. They let him exist so they could claim to be objective or whatever. We had an interesting priest as a professor. Some blonde chick said, "I don't believe you're celibate. I'll bang your brains out," something like that, "if you come over my house tonight, and you can't refuse it." And then he just let it go, and then at the end of class he sued her for sexual harassment. I love it. I love that priest. I want to say God bless you if you're watching this video now, which is certainly not the case. But anyway, so in the just to sum up, don't pay for a job. Now, if you don't pay for a job, what do? Well, you do what we call apprenticing. So you find jobs for lower pay while you learn, and you get less pay because you're producing less. You're not doing as well as the others, but you're still making some money, and you're also learning and developing your skill. So I keep getting asked, like, how did you learn Chinese? You're like a freaking genius. So because I translate all these books and movies and stuff, so I taught myself. What's your HSK score? Like, I never took HSK. Like, I'm going to show a piece of paper to a movie director. Look at this piece of the paper. My Chinese is really good. You know? No. You speak Chinese to the guy. You show him the stuff that you've done before. And you say, look, this is pretty good stuff. This is my level. You can call me if you want that. And so in the real marketplace, the bosses are looking for experience. And then you have sort of bureaucracy and fake people and fake companies and government stuff where people get paid to do nothing and they have no progress in the job and they're just stealing money, and that kind of environment is pretty negative. I think even though some doctors start out with good intentions, a lot of doctors end up like that because they have a very expensive diploma for something that should not be that expensive to learn at all. You shouldn't pay to learn medicine, and you shouldn't pay to have medicine. Nothing except but a minimal kind of a life fee or the little thing for the doctor. And the doctor, when he learns, shouldn't be paying things like $300,000, $400,000 for this diploma. So this touches on the other reason why there are some certain types of degrees, is to block other people out of these fake professions. And I just think, though doctors and hospitals are real, they're just creating the problem that they say they cure. The doctors and the medicines and all their stuff hurt people a lot more than they help. And it's sort of like Ghostbusters. And some people say, hey, before the Ghostbusters there were no ghosts, and that's exactly what I feel about these viruses and all these freaky diseases that doctors are inventing and causing with different cures and causing again, and people coming back and refusing to discuss morals or ways that people can really cure themselves and keep themselves healthy. So there are jobs like that are bureaucratic, and I don't think those jobs are very healthy to be in. I don't think that's an ideal job to have. People say, oh, I've got a cushy job. I make $300,000 a year, and though even then, doctors and lawyers are often really, really busy people, and don't get a wink's rest sometimes. And I don't think those kind of salaries really merit the stress sometimes. But let's say there was no stress. Let's say you're a government official pulling in a ton of money and you do basically nothing but grade papers. Well, are you happy doing that? I mean, do you find that satisfying in life to do that? So what I'm proposing to you, brothers, is this whole freelance lifestyle where you learn skills and you learn as you go and you apprentice and you look for opportunities where people will pay you some money even if you're unexperienced, and then you start to do those things. And you could do anything, and any time you have free time, because celibates have tons of free time, you could be increasing your skills in everything. Now, our recommended skills in these years for the brotherhood, and I think anyone who's not a brother who's listening for pleasure, is languages and handyman. Those seem to be the two brightest ones to go after, is to get another language down and start doing some skills with fixing up homes, fixing things up, helping people, learning how to do stuff with your hands. These jobs will become more and more important in a society where the infrastructure is deteriorating, the level of production is going down, and there's more and more pressure to get real work done. I think that's what all this so-called depression means. So thank you, everybody. Quit the university if you're still in it. Save your money, invest it, use your time to self-study. Everything is free to study on the internet. It's completely free. Don't ever pay to learn, and especially don't ever pay for a job. Amen. Amen.